Hello, this is Will, your werewolf, and what we're going over today is I'm going over a story of my past. As I hope you know, because you might have listened to a few episodes by now, is that I did work for the government, and sometimes I would have to do certain jobs. I'm going to go into one of the stories of those jobs. It's quite a short one. Please like and subscribe if you like my stories. Press the dingy bell and share and comment. I don't care even if you hate me, it's fine, just comment, it's good for me. But yeah, I'm just going to carry one of the stories. It's actually interview 33 of the original interview series. So, if you would like to listen, I will get on with the story. So, I was working really as a hitman, spy, army killing thing. Seemed quite useful for the army to have a werewolf, and this was one of those jobs. So I call it attaché, bless you. Get it? It's like a sneeze. Never mind. I dragged him from the car. I dragged him by his head. They'd been following the envoy that was, I was supposed to protect, and I'd been instructed to stop them. As His Eminence's limo had drawn past, I just simply stepped out behind it and directly into the path of the oncoming vehicle that was following. I know that seems stupid, but I have to find out ways to amuse myself when doing these hunts. These things always add flavour to the work. The car hit me in the thighs, the horn was blaring, a warning not worth ignoring, and I flew up over the bonnet and crashed into the windscreen, causing the glass to shatter into a crazy kaleidoscopic film. This brought the car to a screeching halt under anti-block brakes. As the vehicle rocked to a stop, I rolled from my prone position as a part of the crushed windscreen. I now landed in a complicated heap on the road, and as soon as the car had come to a halt, the passenger leapt from it. He ran to where I lay to check on me. He had his gun unholstered and prepared for trouble. He was a professional and was aware that this could be a trap, even now. Which it was. I moaned as he grabbed the back of my jacket and dragged me around and next to the passenger side wheel, where he shook me as I sat in a crumpled pile. Even that was proper professional. Any passing traffic would now not be able to see me. Goodness, these guys were proper good. "What the hell, mate, you idiot," he said in a soft Cockney accent. I looked up and smiled. "Oh, no. You are the idiot, I'm afraid." And in the same instant, I wolfed out on him, changing and dragging him quickly to the floor, my claws tearing through his jacket and reaching into his abdomen, lacerating his vitals as I closed my fist through the pulverized offal and feeling it squeeze between my fingers. He screamed, laying on his back, trying desperately to pull my hand from his body cavity. I continued my liquefaction of his innards, leaning over the bubbling man. Not through mercy, but time constraints. I ended up, just tearing his throat out. I was then up and in full attack mode before the man in the driver's seat had any real time to respond. The panicking driver tried to get the car moving. It wouldn't start due to the damage I had caused to the engine bay with my body. It was pretty badly folded in. There were no witnesses and no help for this poor assassin's plight on this dark country road. Who knew who he was, or how many he had killed, or for what reasons he'd done it? He was a simple target that I had been given to stop in my own unique wolfy way. I was now at the car door. He looked at me and stopped fumbling in his jacket for something. I don't know, a gun maybe. I punched through the driver's side window and grabbed his head by the hair and dragged him from the car. He yelled and roared in protest, grabbing ineffectually at my arm. It took several hard yanks, each denoted by horrific screams, to drag him past his seatbelt and through the window. He was a big guy, so the journey was a little rough for him to say the least. He hit the floor next to the car, and his blood was already pooling on the tarmac. The clothing and the flesh of his left-hand side were ripped and shredded into pieces from the broken glass remaining in the car's window. He sat himself up with his back to the car, his blood smearing the crisp paintwork of the white BMW. I leaned forward and met his eyes, then crushed his skull in my hand. He was dead. His brains and bits of skull leaking between my fingers sort of gave that away. I dropped the body and then shook the remnants of the brain box from my hand. He was properly dead. People without heads tend to be dead. His passenger was still living but bleeding out by the other side of the car, gurgling through the blood collecting in his throat. I dragged the corpses off the road and didn't feed. It was one of the boss's instructions. I could never leave evidence that this was anything but a simple killing, a joke really. I mean, who would believe that a werewolf attacked them, never mind a werewolf working for the government. And anyway, when they looked at what happened, what they're going to suggest, something ripped its throat out and then ripped his guts out. Once that was done, I pushed the vehicle off the road and into the bushes. The whole procedure had taken maybe a couple of minutes. I walked into cover and changed back into my human form, and then back into the new clothes from the tatters that had torn away from my body. Werewolves always carry spare clothes just in case of an emergency. It was just another day of work for me in the government. I would get congratulated for my work later. This was not work in my eyes, this was fun. I walked a few hundred yards up the road and got into the van that was waiting for me there. The two men in the front were silent and full of fear. I didn't mind. They knew what I was, and they realised that the fear that they felt was justified. Just another day as a werewolf working for the government. Please like and subscribe, it would do me a great favour, and have a lovely day. Bye.